Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask Her Majesty's Attorney-General whether there is any distinction in Manx law between policy and operational matters.
On Her Majesty's Attorney-General.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is no clear and settled definition in Manx law of the distinction between policy and operational matter. In broad terms, policy consists of strategic decisions, and operational matters concern the implementation of those decisions. Manx statute does, on occasion, make the distinction. An example of this can be seen in the recent Financial Intelligence Unit Act 2016. The FIU Board, under paragraph 11 of Schedule 1 of the Act, determines the general policy and principles by reference to which the FIU is to perform its functions, and gives guidance and directions to the FIU accordingly, and determines strategic priorities for the FIU. General operational control is undertaken in accordance with Section 8 and Paragraph 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act, which states that the FIU's functions are exercised by the Director of the FIU, but subject to directions given by the Board and any code of practice issued under Section 9 of the Act by the Department of Home Affairs. There can, however, in my view, be no absolute distinction between policy and operational matters, as each may impinge on the other. An operational matter naturally exists because a policy requires it, but policy itself may be shaped by operational considerations. There may also be circumstances where the distinction between the two with regard to discretion and decision-making is blurred, which was commented on by Lord Wilberforce in the UK Court of Appeal case of Annes v. Burton, LBC 1978, at page 754, and I'll briefly quote what he says. Most probably, indeed, probably all statutes relating to public authorities or public bodies contain in them a large area of policy. The courts call this discretion, meaning that the decision is one for the authority or body to make, and not for the courts. Many statutes also prescribe, or at least presuppose, the practical execution of policy decisions. A convenient description of this is to say, in addition to the area of policy or discretion, there is an operational area. Although this distinction between the policy area and the operational area is convenient and illuminating, it is probably a distinction of degree. Many operational powers or duties have in them some element of discretion. I hope, Mr. President, my comments may assist the Honourable Member for Council, Mr. Cretney, and Honourable Members generally. Thank you.
Supplementary, Mr. Cretney.
Yes, can I thank Her Majesty's Attorney-General for his very helpful and informed response. Would Her Majesty's Attorney-General agree with me that the government policy document in relation to consultations would be worthy of revisit, just to make sure that the distinction between policy and operational matters is properly clarified for the general public who may wish to use such document?
Learned Attorney.
Mr. President, I do agree with that. To the extent that there might be any confusion out there, revisiting that document would be of assistance.
Honourable Member for Douglas East, Mr. Robert Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank the learned attorney for his fascinating answer. But in the light of its slight complexity, would he be kind enough, I appreciate it will be on Hansard, but would his office be kind enough to circulate it to all members, please?
Mr. President, with pleasure.